2021 is going to be an incredible year. Let's see my 2021 predictions. Let's start from last to first. In 20th place, I placed Latifi. I think that Williams isn't going to improve. I think that Williams is going to focus on the 2022 regulations. I don't think there is any point in focusing on the 2021 regulations. I think they're not going to have a great car, and I think that Latifi won't be able to score any points. In 19th place, I put Mazepin. Mazepin isn't really that bright, isn't really incredible. In Formula 2, he had some really sketchy, dangerous overtakes. I don't think he's gonna be that good. In terms of performance, I don't think he will be further up than 19th place. I placed him in 19th because I think that he will maybe score at least a point, or he will finish ahead of Latifi, but with no points. In 18th place, I put Russell, and I'm confident that he will be able to score his first points with Williams. I think that this is long overdue. I think that he had some pretty good chances to score some points with Williams, and I think that 2021 is going to be his year. I think that he's going to be even more experienced. I think he's going to be incredibly speedy, incredibly fast, and I think that he's going to have so much more experience in that Williams car, and with a bit of luck and the biggest season in Formula 1, I think the chances are pretty high that he will score some points. In 17th place, I put Giovinazzi. Again, with Alfa Romeo, it's the same story. I don't think that Alfa Romeo is going to improve. I think it might improve only if Ferrari manages to build an incredible engine, but I highly doubt that. I think Giovinazzi is going to have a pretty good year, maybe a better year than 2020. I think that he will score more points because, again, of the prolonged season. And I think 17th place is where he'll finish. In 16th place, I'm pretty confident, I'm pretty bold with my prediction. I think it's going to be Schumacher. I think he's going to be really good. I don't think he'll score a lot of points, a ton of points. But again, if Alfa Romeo improves, Haas will improve as well. If not, Haas won't improve. I think that maybe with the cash that Daddy Mazepin brings into the team, putting aside all the Mazepin problems, putting aside all of that incredibly explosive scandal, I think that Haas can improve. If they have some good sponsors, if they will still retain their sponsors, again, with that Mazepin situation, it's pretty complicated. But Mazepin brings into that team a lot of cash, let's be honest. It brings into that team a lot of cash, and I think that Haas can improve. And Schumacher in 16th place is a bold prediction, but I think it can happen. In 15th place, again, pretty bold prediction. I think it's going to be Raikkonen. I think he will enjoy himself in Formula 1. I think he will have, again, a lot more chances to prove himself. A lot more tracks where he's good at, like Japan, Suzuka. I think that he will be in 15th place. I think that with this prolonged season, with the season in a normal state or a more normal state, I think that Raikkonen can finish in 15th. It's a pretty bold prediction. It's a very bold prediction, but I think he will finish in 15th. If not, I think he will be really close to Giovinazzi. One place behind Giovinazzi, I think that's pretty certain. They're pretty close in terms of performance, qualifying performance, and race pace. In 14th place, I think it's going to be Ocon. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Ocon. I mean, Ocon had a pretty tough season in 2020. He finished pretty low in 2020. And I think that with Fernando Alonso as his teammate, he's going to suffer. I honestly think he's going to suffer. Alonso is a pretty toxic person. He's really controlling. I think that team is going to revolve around Alonso. I think that Alonso is going to get a preferential treatment. I feel like Alonso isn't going to obey team orders. And I think that Ocon is going to struggle in a team led by Fernando Alonso. And I think that he's going to finish in 14th place because, because of the team, not because of his talent. I think he's going to finish pretty low because of the team. Because of that team revolving around Alonso, I think that is going to hurt Ocon a lot. In 13th place, I put Tsunoda. He's a rookie. I think 13th place is a pretty decent result. And just ahead of him, I placed Gasly in 12th place. Honestly, they can be pretty close. I think it's amazing that AlphaTauri placed those two together in the same car. Tsunoda with his talent, with his speed, with everything that he proved in Formula 2, and Gasly with his amazing race win in Monza, with his amazing speed that he found in 2020 and 2019. I think that he can be really good. I think that Gasly is going to finish a bit, just a touch ahead of Tsunoda on points because of his experience, because of him knowing the team. But I think Tsunoda in 13th and Gasly in 12th are pretty respectable results. In 11th place, this hurts a lot. I put Sainz. I think that is going to be a pretty poor year for Sainz because of that Ferrari, because of that car, because of that team. I think he will be a number 2 driver. I think that Ferrari is going to put every bit of their efforts into Leclerc. I mean, they ignored a 4-time world champion. They treated a 4-time world champion as a number 2 driver. And I think that Sainz is going to be treated as number 2 driver. I think that he's going to suffer. I think that he's going to have a pretty bad year in Ferrari, getting up to speed with Ferrari, with that whole attitude in Ferrari, with those poor pit stops. I think that he's going to struggle a lot, not because of his talent, but because of that car, because of that team. In 10th place, I put Alonso. This is pretty optimistic. I think that Alonso is going to be pretty good. I think that that team is going to revolve around Alonso. I feel like Alonso is going to get a preferential treatment. He's going to get the preferential strategy. He's going to be that star of the team. He's going to be the golden boy of Renault. He is going to be pretty good. I think that he's really talented. I think that he hasn't lost any bit of talent in his sabbatical. And I think that he can deliver. I think that he can deliver. That team revolving around him, that team focusing on Alonso, treating him as a number 1 driver, he can really do a great job, and I think that he can finish 10th. 10th is a pretty respectable place. Not too high and not too low. It's pretty respectable. I think he can finish in 10th. In 9th place, I put Leclerc. He's going to have a pretty good year. Again, he's going to have a pretty good year considering the car that he's going to drive. I think that he's going to be way ahead of Sainz on points. I think that his speed, his undeniable talent will put him ahead of Sainz. I think Sainz is an incredible driver, but Leclerc is an even better driver, and with that team treating him as a number 1 driver, I feel like he can finish 9th. It's pretty low, but I feel like Aston Martin is going to improve. I feel like McLaren is going to improve because of that Mercedes engine, and I feel like a lot of teams will move forward and Ferrari will move backwards. In 8th place, I put Stroll. Stroll finished in 11th place in 2020, and I think that in 2021, with the improvements to that car, with everything that he's learned in 2020, I think he can be really, really good. I think that he's gonna be really good in 2021. I think 8th place is an incredible place for Aston Martin and for Lance Stroll, and I think he can manage. I think he can manage to finish 8th with that Aston Martin, basically the 2020 Mercedes. It's a pretty decent result. In 7th place, I put Norris. I put Lando Norris. I think that that Mercedes engine in that McLaren is going to be an incredible combination. I think that that car is going to be a podium-worthy car. Maybe even a race-winning car. I think that Norris is going to have an incredible year. I think that he's going to improve a lot. But I think that 7th place is the right place for him. In 6th place, I've gone with a very bold prediction. Sebastian Vettel. I think that he will finish just ahead of Lance Stroll, not by a lot. He will be 6th, Stroll will be 8th. It's a small difference. I think that Sebastian is going to be incredibly happy with the team. He's going to be incredibly happy with the car. That 2020 Mercedes, that 2021 Aston Martin are incredible. I think that those cars are incredibly easy to drive, incredibly fun to drive. They're really stable, and I think that Sebastian Vettel thrives when he has a really stable car. He likes a car with a lot of back of rear grip. He likes a car with grip, and I think that 2020 Mercedes, that 2021 Aston Martin is going to have a lot of grip, is going to be really stable, and is going to suit Sebastian Vettel's driving style. I think that Aston Martin is going to put a lot of attention on Vettel. I think they're going to treat him with as much respect as possible. They're going to offer him everything that he wants. I think that he will have the preferential strategy. I think that he will have the better strategy. And I think that with his talent, his speed, he can finish 6th. I think it's an incredible place. And if he manages to finish 6th, that'll be an incredible achievement. It's a bit far-fetched. I'm certain of that. I acknowledge that it's a bit ambitious to put him in 6th, but he's a great driver and I think that he can manage. In 5th place, I put Ricciardo. Ricciardo is an incredible driver. And just as I said with Norris, that 2021 Mercedes engine into that 2021 McLaren is going to be an incredible combination. I think that Ricciardo managed to score 2 podiums with Renault. I think that with that McLaren and with that Mercedes engine, they're going to manage some incredible things. I think that they can be really, really good. In 4th place, I put Perez. Perez is going to be the answer to Red Bull. He isn't going to be better than Verstappen. Nobody asks him to be better than Verstappen. He just needs to deliver consistently, and I think that 4th place is an incredible place for him. He finished 4th in that Racing Point, and I think he can do it again in a Red Bull. He will be even better in a Red Bull. I'm certain of that. In 3rd place, I put Bottas. It's really hard to put Bottas in 3rd place, but honestly, he had a very, very bad year in 2020. He made some rookie mistakes. He had bad starts 3 races in a row, I think 4 races in a row. He isn't better than in 2019. I think that 2019 was way, way better for Bottas than 2020. And if he keeps this downward spiral, I think that he's gonna suffer in 2021. Verstappen was so close to Bottas in the standings in 2020. He was just 9 points behind Bottas in the standings in 2020. And Verstappen had a lot of reliability problems. He had a lot of engines blowing up, tires blowing up, suspension failures. He had a lot of problems with that car and still managed to finish 9 points behind Bottas. I think that 3rd place for Bottas is the way to go. And in 2nd place is going to be Verstappen. I think that Red Bull is going to be really good. I think that Red Bull is going to improve a lot, but isn't going to be as good as Mercedes. I think that Mercedes will always improve, but what I have to say is that Verstappen will be really, really close to Lewis Hamilton this time. So this leads me to number 1. I think that in number 1 is going to be Hamilton. I think that he's going to be so good. He just keeps getting better. It's just incredible. He keeps improving every single year. And I think that car keeps improving every single year. And I think that the Mercedes car will be a bit slower than the Red Bull. I think that Mercedes are going to focus on 2022. They're going to focus on the 2022 regulations. And I think that Red Bull is going to focus a lot on the 2021 regulations. They will still have Honda partnering with them. Honda will make a strong engine, most likely. And I think that Verstappen is going to be really, really close to Lewis Hamilton. And I think that for the first time in a while, we're gonna get a title fight between Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. So yeah, those are my predictions. It's a pretty basic grid with some bold predictions, but I think it's pretty reasonable. I haven't gone too crazy, and I haven't gone too boring either. I think it's a pretty respectable grid, and I hope it's gonna happen. If you have other predictions, don't hesitate to leave them below. So yeah, that was it. Stay safe and happy race watching.